Hi everyone, and welcome to the sixth and final part of this Bulldog tutorial. So in this part, obviously, I'm just finishing up, so I will be doing the neck, which is kind of a bit more, sorry if you can hear noise in the background, it's my cats playing. I've kind of kept them in the room with me this time, but I may have to shut them out. But yeah, the neck is kind of more out of focus. Oh god, here we go, here he comes. Come on, go sit down. Yeah, the neck's a bit more out of focus compared to the face. As you can see here, the face is like the focus, obviously, and then all around here is a little bit more soft and blurred out. So this part hopefully shouldn't take too long. It shouldn't take too long to finish. And then I'll be adding a few final details, such as the little whiskers that you can see around the muzzle here. So I'm gonna start off with a dark brown. So I think I'm going to start off with 177, and yeah, I'm going to zoom you in slightly here. Okay, Loki, seriously, you're going to have to leave. I've just had to shut both my cats out because, yeah, they're going to get in the way a little bit. So I'll just get this done and then I can give them some attention. Right, so yeah, I'm just going to use 177, this little tiny brown, and I'm going to map out kind of the darker areas, so the dark bits here on the folds, and this bit here, here, just kind of roughly put them in. And then I'll blend it out and stuff. So I'm just going to work on a base layer first. So I'm just going to add in the darkest parts first. And I don't know if I mentioned the tape that I'm using to stick down this, the paper onto the board, because then when I peel it off it looks really neat and crisp, but it's the Scotch Magic tape, so I will try and remember to link that in the description below if I haven't already. I can't remember if I've linked that below before or not, but I will link that down below in case you want to use it for this part, because it just leaves a really nice crisp line. And yeah, it just makes the picture look a bit more professional and neat, rather than if you just kind of finish it off with a few like rough ends, it doesn't necessarily look as good. So yeah, I always like using the tape just to make it look really crisp and neat. So as always, I'm roughly going in the direction of the fur, but just kind of using rough strokes, not doing anything too precise for this part. Definitely for this bit I would recommend resting your hand on some glassine paper or something, just because then you don't smudge what you've done underneath, because otherwise it could ruin what you've done already. So a lot of people prefer to work from left to right or from right to left, depending if you're right or left-handed, but I don't find that the easiest way for me to work. I just prefer working in whatever order I want to, and then just resting my hand on the glassine paper and trying not to like rub or like move it around too much, just so it doesn't smudge what you've done underneath. And then the further out we go here, the less brown it gets. So I'm just going to move this over a little bit. Yeah, the less dark it gets, so it gets a bit more paler. And there's more white and lighter browns. So I'm going to add in some other browns because this one's quite a dark brown. But I am adding a bit of the darkness, and then I can just blend it out. Okay, that's that. I'm going to get a lighter brown. So I'm going to go for this, a bit of this one, which is 179. It might be a bit too light, but I'm just going to see how I go with it. Just adding a bit of the lighter brown so that when I blend it into the white, it kind of blends a little bit easier. So it's not like brown then white straight away. It's kind of a lighter brown to transition the two colours together when I blend it. So yeah, I'm just going to do the same here. I'm not really going in any direction with this. I'm just going to completely blend it out after, so it won't matter. Especially as this part of the dog in the reference photo is really blurred out. You don't need to be as precise because you're going to really blend it anyway. Add too much of this in here just because there's none of this kind of warmer brown here. It's all a bit more cooler looking, so I'm just going to add a tiny bit of it, but not too much. Actually, this bit underneath the chin just here has some brown shading, so I'm going to add using this brown because it's not quite as dark here, but I'm going to add maybe a little bit of the dark brown, but I'm just going to start off with this one for now. Like that, and then yeah, get this darker brown, add just a little bit. Like that. A little bit of this here, and then the rest of this little bit here is kind of orangey, so I'm just adding a bit of the brown, so again blend the darker brown into the orange. Then I'm going to grab the orange that I've been using throughout this video, which is the Stabilo one, and just fill out this section here. And then I can reblend it again after and then add more layers on top. But yeah, I'm just going to add this orange for the base. Like that. Then I'm going to grab the soft white, so this one, and I'm going to add in some white where the lighter areas are, and then I'm going to blend the whole base layer out, and then add a few details on top. But I won't be adding too many details just because, as I said, it's a lot more blurry. So yeah, just adding in some white, and then I can add in more white later on as I see fit, or more brown, more orange, whatever. So I'm just going to add this in sort of in the lighter parts for the moment. And then around up here there is loads of white, so yeah, I'm just going to roughly shade it all in. All the bits that are blank at the moment are the lighter parts. So it looks an absolute mess at the moment, but it will come together. As always, it always looks completely messy at this point. Especially this part, because it's going to be really out of focus. It's just, it looks like an absolute mess, like a child's just scribbled over the page at the moment. Right, and then also this bit here is actually a lot darker, so I'm going to add some more of the brown. The darkest brown, the 177. There we go. So I'm going to start by blending using the kind of more blanker blending stump just for the kind of whiter parts, and then I'll go in with the browner one that I've used for the browns. There we go, like that. And then yeah, I can just use the other side, which has a bit of dark on it, so I'm going to use that for the browns. Just blend it out as much as I can, and then I will add some further layers on top. There we go, so that is all blended, or like roughly blended. So now I am going to start adding in a few more details. So I'm just going to add this creamy colour, shade 103, and just add a little bit of cream at the bottom of the chin here, just to kind of separate the chin from this rolls underneath, so that it doesn't all kind of blend into one. Like that, and then I'm just going to add in some of this cream here as well, and here, and then maybe a little bit more orange as well. Gone boiling for some reason. It's been really cold recently, but right now I am sweating. So I want to kind of keep all of this bit really, really soft looking, because it's all quite blurred, as I keep saying. So I just kind of don't want too many harsh lines. I want to keep it as blended looking as possible and just very, very soft. And then I'm going to add the 177 again, just to deepen up this bit here a little bit more. Like that. And I'm also going to add a tiny bit of this, I think, the 283, which is kind of a reddish brown. Just going to add a very small hint of this, so just pressing really, really lightly. Like that. Perhaps a tiny bit more orange. I'm going to continue with the cream here because it's got like a lighter bit here. So I'm sort of just going to work my way this way. And then add in a little bit of orange again, because where I blended it out it kind of got rid of some of the orange that I'd added, so I'm just going to add in a bit more. And also I think I'm going to add a slight hint of this yellow, which is 102. It's like a kind of light yellow, but I think I'm going to add in just a tiny bit around the orange because it's quite a bit of a lighter looking orange around this area, so I'm just going to add a bit of yellow to kind of brighten it up a little bit. Kind of want to like fluff out the edges here a little bit as well, so it's not like a line, so it looks a little bit more natural. And darkening all this bit up again, because where you blend it out it kind of makes things look less dark, so I'm just going to add in the dark brown here again, the 177, and then also adding a bit more of the other brown that I used as well, the 179, the kind of lighter brown. I'm being a bit more precise now, but still not super precise, just because obviously I want to keep it looking very soft and blended, but yeah, just being a little bit more precise than the base layer. That was just very, very rough. Add a hint of the yellow again, just around this bit here. Cool. And then I'm going to do some of this bit here, so that needs darkening up again as well. So I'm going in with the darkest brown again, 177. And they also add in a little bit of black underneath the chin as well, just to deepen up certain areas like I did with other areas, but just like a really, really light bit of black. Nothing too harsh, not pressing very hard, but yeah, just to deepen things up a little bit more. Especially around this area here, it's all very, very dark, so. And then some of the other brown, the 179, the lighter one of the two. Teeny tiny bit of orange just here, just pressing really, really lightly. Like that. Okay, and then, yeah, I'm going to add a little bit of black. So just in the very, very darkest areas, so this little corner bit here, just pressing really lightly, around here. Here a little bit. Maybe a tad here as well. And then, yeah, I'm definitely going to add some black here, because this area here is really quite dark compared to the rest of the brown, so I kind of want to keep it true to the reference picture. So, yeah, adding a lot more black than in the other areas. So I don't want to add too much because I don't want it to be completely black, and I probably will add a bit more brown on top as well. But I just really, really want to darken this up. So that is a lot darker, and then I'm going to go in again with the dark brown, the 177 that I've used a lot for this piece, and I'm going to add some hair strokes around this area here, because you can kind of see the hair strokes more around this area. They're still very soft, but you can see some of the fur strokes, so just want to continue on with that. And I will probably blend over the top of this very slightly just to make it appear a bit softer. Deepening up some of the browner areas again that we'd blended out earlier because they've gone a bit light, so just adding a bit more brown into these areas. Slightly blending it out again, just really roughly, not like really harshly blending it, just pressing really lightly just to give it a soft blend. Then I'm going to use the cream, so shade 103, and I'm going to add in some small first strokes in amongst the brown here just to blend the two colours together nicely. We'll probably also use a little bit of the light brown as well, just to blend the colours together a little bit more, make it look really soft. Like that. And then again going in with the lighter brown like I just said about what in shade 179, and I'm just going to add a bit more, some more brown strokes onto the white here. I'm not pressing super hard. Oh, the camera cut off then, I don't know what I got up to, but yeah, I'm just going to sharpen this orange, see if it will actually sharpen. Not really, so I'm just going to roughly do this, and I think I'm going to add in some of that darker brown that I've used earlier on in the portrait, which is shade 187. So I think I'm just going to add a bit of the Stabilo orange here, just to overlap onto the brown a little bit, so that it's not so like really harsh line there. You kind of want it to look more natural. Add in some fur, overlapping the dark bit underneath, so like that. Just looks a lot softer. And then yeah, going in with the dark orange that I just said about, to add in some more fur strokes and just deepen the orange up a bit, make it a bit richer looking. Like that. I'm going to use the cream again, shade 103, and just lighten up the tips of this bit, because the tips at the end are actually look a bit lighter, and especially up the top here there's quite a lot of lighter fur. Like that. Adding a little bit more brown, I think. So I'm using the lighter brown 179. Just add a little bit more brown into this bit. And there is a brown bit here, which I need to just add it in. I'm also going to add some of the darker brown as well. So that's 177, just to deepen up this bit and this little bit here that I added. And I'm going to grab the black quickly and just deepen up this bit here. There we go. And then I'm going to move on. Can't really move the board over any further, I don't think. Let's see, that's about as far as I can go. Because otherwise, yeah, I can't move the camera over because it's stuck on a mount on the wall. So, yeah, hopefully that'll be alright. I'm going to add in some of the lighter brown, which is shade 179. Just add in a bit here to blend it in with this darker bit here. And this bit here is really, really like soft and out of focus, so I will probably use a blending stump again just to re-blend everything. And then going in with the darker brown again, 177, just to slightly deepen up at the very edge. Okay, and then blending stump, the darker end. Just blend it in again, make it look really soft. And then here, because it's kind of a line here, you kind of want to, again, overlap the fur a little bit, make it look more natural. So I'm just going to find my normal white, wherever that is. Not the soft white, just the normal one. Is that one? No, that's a grey. Oh, it's underneath. It's underneath the piece of paper. So this is my normal white, which is really tiny, but it will do for now. I'm just going to create some fur that kind of overlaps the next fold here, just so that it obviously doesn't look like a harsh line. So it kind of just, yeah, looks more realistic basically. So you just want to create some hair strokes at the end. Yeah, at the edge here. Plus also this bit is a bit lighter anyway, so I needed to add some white to it to brighten this bit up. like that. And then again on this bit here, I'm gonna deepen up this again with the lighter brown, so 179. Just basically repeating what I've just done, but with this next section and this little bit here. And then the darker brown 177, just deepen up the inner bit a little bit further, and then I'm going to blend it out with a blending stump again, and then add some white. So using the dark end of the blending stump again, just to blend the browns out again. Like that. I'm going to go in with the cream, 103, and start adding in some lighter fur, blending it into the brown a little bit more. But this bit is definitely very, very soft, so I'm not adding in as much defined hair strokes like I have here. This bit's a lot softer, so I am adding some hair strokes, but they just look a lot softer and a lot more blended in, not as defined. This bit here is really quite light, so yeah, and then I'm just going to add in some of the white, not the soft white, this is the medium white, and just add in some at the edge here, like I've done on the previous bits. This bit's all quite repetitive really, just using the same techniques for each like fold of the skin. And then again here, exact same thing. This is the cream. The reason I use the cream sometimes is just because it's a bit softer, it's not quite so harsh, not so bright. It just kind of helps it look a bit more blended. There we go, so that is the neck complete. So now I'm just going to add in a few whiskers. So the whiskers are black. So what I'm going to actually use for this is my black polychromos pencil. So this isn't a pastel pencil, this is just a regular coloured pencil, but can make really defined line, because obviously it's a coloured pencil, it is easier to do small details with. So you can just use the normal pastel pencil, that's fine, just make sure it's sharpened to a really sharp point. But I'm going to be using this, which I do recommend for adding really small details, because with pastels you can use coloured pencils on top for small details, which is handy to know. So yeah, to sharpen that up even further, so it's a really, really sharp top point. You can see how sharp that is. And I'm going to have a look at the reference picture and sort of just add in a few, press lightly, don't press too hard, just some little whiskers as a finishing touch. So I always like to do this at the end because it overlaps different sections. So I'm just adding in and kind of just do a quick motion. Don't do it too slow because it might look a little bit wobbly and not quite as realistic. So I'm just sort of doing some fast motions like that. So I'm just going to add in some on the other side, just sort of where I can, roughly where I can see them on the reference picture. It doesn't have to be exact because whiskers move around slightly, don't they? And then there's also one or two up here. So I'm just going to add in a couple of little ones like that. Cut here. Yeah, a couple of light lines like that. So that's the little finishing touches. I'm going to zoom you out now. That's me zoomed out. And then this is literally my favourite part of doing a drawing ever, is peeling off the tape. So it's just really satisfying. And you can see how crisp that line is, which is why I would recommend this. And then I'm also going to use my kneaded eraser to go around the edges here, because there is some smudged pastel around the edge, and just lift that up slightly just to clean it up. And you just press it into the paper. You don't want to rub like you would with a normal rubber. I'm just dabbing to get rid of any pastel dust. I think I've got this linked in the description below as well for all the tutorial parts, so I definitely recommend these to add to your kit. It's really handy. So yeah, that is the finished piece. I'm just going to show you some close-ups here. There's the bit we did today. Muzzle, the top of the head. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have got to the end and you've actually followed along, please send me a picture of your finished piece. I would absolutely love to see what you've created. And yeah, it just makes me happy knowing that people have followed my tutorial and that people are learning from it. So yeah, it just makes my time more worthwhile. And I just love seeing your artwork as well. So yeah, please send me a message on Instagram or any of my social media if you have followed along, and send me a photo of your piece. And yeah, I will see you in the new year with some new tutorials and new videos. So please give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll hopefully see you in another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.